this week's challenge is all about parsing out data, cleaning it up a bit so that we can do some analysis on it later. Unfortunately, I don't have the intelligence suite, so I can't do the further analysis, but we can get to the desired first output anyway. So we start off with all the comments and we only filter it down to the relevant columns. Now to get out the weekly challenge number, I'm using the href just because, so you can see here, for example, that this is something that we wouldn't want to include any of the digits from because it's from the weekly challenge index. So just by using the logic that it's always challenge dash 3 numbers dash is how we get out our challenge number. So that means that here, for example, we just dash with the 3 numbers and then a dash will always give us our challenge number because it's always got 3 digits because it's 100 to 223. So that's how we get that out, and you can see that it has a null, for example, where it's been posted on the weekly challenge index page rather than on a specific challenge number, so we can just get rid of those comments helpfully. Awesome, and then we're just sorting that in ascending order because then it's easier to compare to the output. So my initial thoughts was to sort of only take things that are inside of the P tag there, but then I realized that there were multiple P's, multiple paragraphs in the comments, so I decided to go with a different logic that I kind of repeat a few times to get to the solution. So we're just using a regex replace here on the body to say that, keep anything before a tag because that's sorry, let me start that again. We've got 5 capture groups here. So the first capture group is just anything that's before a tag. The second is like any tag that opens up, which is between those greater than and less than signs, little crocodiles, some people call them. And then anything inside that tag we want to keep. And then the closing tag we don't want to keep either, but anything after that is fine. So we do that. That's how that syntax is working. It's keeping the first one, the third one, and the fifth one and ignoring anything within the tags. So we do that 4 times in a row because that's just how I found was good. It just worked for the solutions that I was working towards. I had a kind of filter tool checking if there were any little greater than or less than signs still in it, and it took 4 for me to do it this way, which possibly isn't the best way because it's not very dynamic if there were more, but for this list it works. Then I start to notice things that were inconvenient in there. So we've got breaks, which are just sort of almost like new lines, but then we've also got new lines in there as well. So just taking those out, replacing those, and getting to, a cleaner output. I also noticed this spoiler highlight to read appeared in a lot of them. That's not a very useful comment to be keeping. So once I cleaned up the fields a bit, then I decided to also get rid of that, just so that all of them had like a similar amount of spacing. And then this one still had some leading space after we've taken away the spoiler tag. So for example, we get rid of those as well. And then the only kind of errors that are left are because the field isn't large enough to show without a browse tool. So it just means there's those ... dots afterwards, but that's fine because we know that the data is still there. So hopefully that was a useful walkthrough of how I would approach tackling this challenge. So thank you for listening.